Hi everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Diva, and I'm back with another pick a card reading. This is a love reading for Valentine's Day. It's finding out how to ignite your love life. So we're going to look at a whole lot of things and it's going to be great. And we have three choices. To the left here is pink and opal. In the middle for the numbers 2 we have amethyst, and for the numbers 3 we have rose quartz. And I put the first card of each set here, so you can either tune into the cards or to the crystals or both, right? So you have both to work with. So if you just feel, if need be, pause the video. And this one has a wee bit of glare. I can't help it. There's snow outdoors, so there is an awful lot of reflection. I already put it at an angle, but anyhow, just feel, pause the video if that helps, and if you need more time. And I'm gonna start the numbers 1 reading. Numbers 1, your first card is, let me see, because I found a spread, so I have to get the questions here. This is about how you can feel more desirable. And then we have the 10 of Wands, which is usually not a very, very uplifting, positive card. It isn't here either, really. But what we see here, these are 7 sisters, and they're walking home from partying all night and dancing all night, and now they're totally exhausted and spent, and they have to go home. But there is one, which is you, here, and as you can see, she's not really walking in line. It's like, yeah, but no, but I don't want to, right? And that's you. And this is also what you should do, or how you should be, if you want to feel more desirable. Let me explain. It means that you shouldn't walk the beaten path. You shouldn't follow and get sucked into the group dynamic. You should follow your own inner guidance. So you have to basically detach energetically from this dynamic of a setting or groups or peer pressure, whatever, right? And do your own thing, follow your own thing. And that's not just with socializing and friends, it's in a more global sense as well. That that you're daring to step out of what's expected of you, of what's considered normal, right? And not give a rip about that, and just follow your own inner guidance. And that's how you can become more desirable. Because if you do that, if you follow your own thing, you will feel better as well, right? Because then you can start doing what resonates with you, and you will start attracting things and people, situations that resonate with you, and it will then nurture you, nourish you. It's give and take, right? And you will then feel much better. You will feel yourself. You will be able to be yourself, and then you are very desirable. Because, yeah, you're unique. Everyone is. But a lot of people just follow this line, right? They always walk in line. They never do something weird because, oh my God, what would other people think or say? But that is not going to make you happy to do that. So don't do that, right? And then you automatically become more desirable. Just be yourself. Even if it's not, even if it's unusual and considered a wee bit odd maybe by society, it doesn't matter. If it's you, it's just you. And that's what you then have to do. And that helps your love life, of course. Your second card, what puts a damper on your love life, and I believe you have an awful lot of Wands cards. So a lot of fire energy, a lot of action, and and this is the Page of Wands, or no, sorry, I'm saying that wrong. It's the it's the Knight of Wands, Um, we see then here this woman, she's the Knight of Wands, and she's in the forest at night, and she has been looking for this flower that only blooms once and at a specific time at that night. And she found it. But what I get from this for your reading, this is what puts a damper on your love life. You're chasing after it. After love, after a partner, after, you're really chasing after it. This is a very, normally with the Knight of Wands, you see this fiery knight on a horse. And it's up in with its front legs up in the air. I can't remember now what you call that in English. And so this is a very fiery, passionate, fast-moving energy, and that can be okay in some situations, but it can also push people away. Right? If a horse does that, goes up in the air with its front legs, well, I'm going to step aside, It's like, oh, whoa, hang on a second, I'm out of here, It's too much of a good thing. So you're coming on too strong. And it's okay to be fiery, it's okay to have passion and all that stuff, but you can still learn to allow things to come to you. This is too much. This is just too much for other people, and maybe then likely it's too much for yourself as well on some level. Maybe you're needy deep down, that you want it so much, and you don't want to be alone. I don't know. It will be different for everyone, but it's just this just doesn't help. And it can also be that you're chasing after or get kind of bedazzled by things that do not last. So smooth talkers, people who appear to be really wonderful, loving, caring, great partners, but then it turns out they're not emotionally available, for instance, right? Because this flower, it blooms just that one night, so it's very short-lived. So that's also possible. If you don't recognize the other thing I said all that much, then this is also possible, that you fall too easily for things that have no future, really. And they seem very promising and wonderful at first, and then it just withers and dies down. And so in that sense, you have to become more, slow it down anyway, right? Slow it down a little bit. Don't push so hard, so you can take your time to check out if the other person is for real and if it's really going somewhere or not. So yeah, this is what puts a damper on your love life. Now we're going to look at what action steps you should take. That would be very helpful. Okay, this is for oops, I have to check now what the question was. The action steps that you should take. And then we have again wands. There's, like I said, an awful lot of wands in your reading because these are not the last ones yet. We have the Page of Wands and we have the Eight of Wands, and your action steps is in a way the Page of Wands is in this reading, right, a softer, gentler energy than this Knight of Wands that we just had. That was just really pushing in a way and chasing, and this is not like that so much. It's this is more, the Page of Wands is more about you expressing yourself, who you really are, what you really want, and your own creativity. So in a way, that's more back to getting out of these societal ruts and routines and all that stuff that came up with the first card. It's doing that, being yourself and having fun with that. There is not really any chasing going on. There is no pushing going on. This boy that we see here, he has a wand, and he is, it's a magic wand, right? And he's trying to do something with that rabbit, to turn him into, I don't know, another child maybe, or a cat or whatever. But the rabbit, nothing is happening, right? He's just practicing. He's just a child. And he does really want it, and he's focused on it, because a wand is also focus, right? Having a clear vision and an intention and focus. But it's playful, and the rabbit isn't bothered at all. He's not running away. He's not scared or anything. He just rabbits, right? It just sits there and bees a rabbit. And but this is far more playful and light-hearted and fun in that sense than if for this reading, the Knight of Wands. It's more pleasant to bump into that, into this, than the energy of this Knight of Wands in this case, right? I have to say that because it can be different in any reading. And then with the Eight of Wands, that's also fiery, fast-moving energy. And in this deck, we see all these owls. And this is, again, about swift action. But it's also, it's very positive, right? It means that there is a high chance of a positive outcome. There can be news or things coming to you. Also from men, right? Like on a dating site, getting attention, messages, that kind of stuff. That's also part of this card. But it's also swift action while having a clear vision. So from clarity, knowing what you want, and it's self-direction, knowing what you go for, having the determination, also the confidence, right? But most one's cards, I feel, have confidence. Having a vision, and that's also with this card. It's expressing yourself. A new beginning. It's a page. It's a new beginning. Expressing yourself and knowing what you want, knowing what you're going for, and not just going for the first thing that looks pretty and bedazzles you and lures you in or something like that, right? Here that won't happen because you have that vision. You know that maybe the partner you will end up with will look handsome, but you're not going to fall just for looks anymore. It's combined with this, yeah. So and channeling your energy in a better way, right? Because you're following your inner drive. So that's what you should do. And moving on to the next card. This is the Queen of Wands. So again, Wands. And this is for how can you attract a lover? Now here, this outgoing energy from that Knight of Wands has turned inward more, and it's now shining out. The power of it is now shining out from the inside out, and it's spiraling around you, and that makes you so goddamn attractive to other people as well as men, right? And this is owning it. This is being in control, being confident, knowing who you are, and being inspiring, warm, passionate, going for something. And I mean, this is the Queen, you know? It's wonderful. So she is embodying all the other stuff that came before in the suit of Wands. And the funny thing is, what it also mentions with this card is that she is embodying the flower that she was looking for as when she was still this knight, right? And then she was looking for and chasing after that flower. But now she is the flower. Now she is the one who draws people to her. The right people, because the ones who do not resonate with her will walk around it, right? The ones who can't handle her light and her presence and her fire and her essence. And this woman is completely authentic. So it all boils down again to this first card of how you can feel more desirable by getting out of this, walking in line thing, right? Becoming you, really you. And then you will eventually become this queen and this empowered queen who is embodying what she was first chasing after. Now she is it. She is the goddess. She is the queen. And that's how you can attract a lover. And it depends on what you've already done with personal growth and all that stuff, how far you are. Maybe you're already close to this, or maybe you already are this queen, or, it will be different for everyone. Anyhow, next card. This is the card for how can you sustain a relationship, how can you keep a relationship healthy and going, lasting. And we have the Strength card, and I love that in this position because this means that you have a really very good balance on the inside between between yourself, your energy, your essence, who you are, and the fears of the ego, which is represented by this wolf, right? In a way, you have kind of tamed the inner fears that maybe drove you when you were not so far yet, right? Before you were that queen. And that's no longer the case. But these things, that they might still be there, but they can also become your friend, as you can see here, right? But the ego will not become the boss of you any longer. You're in balance, and you can also tap into your talents, your unique talents, and your gifts, and what you came to do here, etc., etc. And if you can maintain that when in a relationship, it's gonna be great. And that might be a bit difficult because often when women who are really like this, normally speaking, when they get in a relationship, then often that all goes out of the window. We are different in a relationship because it means so bloody much to us, right? And then we let go of our standards and our values and everything that's important and that blah, blah, blah. And then it is not going to help the relationship. That's quite logical, right? It's not an attractive feature at all. So if you don't do that, if you can stand in your own power, in your own light, in your own essence, and not be overcome by fears when there is an obstacle, when there is a problem going on in the relationship or whatever, then that will help to sustain a relationship and make it lasting, keep it healthy, etc. Okay. What kind of relationship will you attract when you do that? So if you already are well on the way of becoming this wonderful Queen of Wands and embodying the strength and all that stuff, then you can, will likely already begin to attract people, men, I suppose, or partners, let me just be general, partners, who can offer you this kind of relationship. Then we have the Empress and the Ten of Cups, and there's two more cards. I will show them in a bit. So the Empress is normally she's pregnant in most tarot decks. Here she has a child, but the child still needs love and care and learning and growing and developing, and the Empress can give that and will give that because she's very nurturing and loving and nourishing and able to just let things develop the way, naturally unfold. And so whatever is given birth to will be healthy and not in a mold or anything. It can be itself. And it doesn't have to be a child, of course. It can be a project, an idea. It can be the relationship. It's just having the patience, knowing that things take time to blossom and grow, and at the same time getting nourishment yourself from all that. So it's going to be a very loving, warm relationship that will grow and evolve and develop in time, and in this at the same time will be like a warm embrace, really a place where you can feel, both of you can feel home and comfortable and happy. And we see that here as well with these unicorns. Again, there is a little one, so maybe some of you would still want children. That's possible. Then you can attract that relationship where you will have that, because we have a child here and a little one there. Doesn't have to be because it can also be something new, something young that you make together, right? That still has to develop and grow, etc., etc. But here we also see an awful lot of happiness and peace and quiet and love as well, right? The unicorns have a very, very high energy. They will not be together if there isn't a very deep bond and love and all that stuff. So you can attract this absolutely great relationship. And it doesn't mean it's going to be boring, because maybe you think that now, well, nothing much is happening here. But this is all about more about emotionally and how you work together, right? Because like the unicorns, they can jump, they can gallop, they can run, they can have fun in that sense. So it doesn't have to be boring at all. And the last two cards for the same question: what kind of relationship can you then attract when you have done all that work? So deeply and soul. Look deeply within to discover your soul purpose in your relationship. And that can be really handy at times, because sometimes you can see notice a theme throughout all the relationships that you've had, love relationships, like maybe what you were looking for, and in these relationships where you're looking for safety, for shelter, for I don't know, or just love, a partner who was standing next to you, and so on and so forth. Knowing why you are in that relationship. Like, for instance, I know I want now, at this stage in my life where I am now as an individual, I want a man who stands next to me, who compliments me. And while I still stand on my own 2 feet, he does too, so no codependency. That kind of thing. And in the past that was different. In my first relationship, when I was much younger, I needed a safe haven, and I didn't see that then. Back then I was just in love, and I just wanted to be with him and all that stuff. But looking back, I now see that actually I needed safety, I needed a haven, and he did too. So we offer that to each other, and that's also a beautiful thing. Anyhow, so it can be really helpful to look back at your also the soul purpose of your relationship, right? And your soul is preparing to reconnect, trust in the process. So it could take a wee bit of time. That's what I'm getting from that last sentence, trust in the process. Then don't start, if that is the case, if you do not meet someone this year, for instance, or next week, or in 2 months' time, or whatever, then don't start doing this again. Don't go back to this chasing, right? That's not going to work. That's not going to do you any good, because then you have to go through all these stages and stuff to again become this queen. So don't do that. Just know and trust the process, trust spirit, trust that your soul is preparing to reconnect with this partner that will come your way, right? And in divine timing. That's such a lovely sentence, isn't it? And when it takes forever, you can get really annoyed with that. But yeah. Anyhow, this is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's helpful. Wishing you happy Valentine's, and I will see you soon. Right, numbers 2. Welcome to your Ignite Your Love reading. Your first card is for how to feel more desirable, and it's the Ace of Wands. And we see this green dragon with that wand that he is breathing fire into, light. And this is also how can you feel more desirable by relighting your fire. Have a passion. And since this is an ace, it's only the initial spark, but you have to keep that burning. And if that's burning always, then you can let that grow into a bigger fire if you so wish, right? If you, yeah, for whatever reason. And this card also says, from this deck that is, that the fire dragon, the green fire dragon, lives in the forest, and he has the perfect camouflage, and you can't really see him until he breathes a little fire. And I feel that this is what you tend to do. It's kind of like withdraw and then become invisible, and blending into the background or the environment, etc., until maybe you find yourself in a situation that makes you feel safe or whatever, and then you breathe a little fire so you're seen. That, or your energy just goes up and down too much, so your spark sort of goes out all the time, and then it lights again and it goes out again, and etc., etc. And I feel for most of you, it's that, the energy that goes up and down. And in that sense, then find something so you always feel energetic and alive. And that also then don't let that hinge on a situation or a person, right? It has to come from the inside out. The spark of light and a passion is on the inside. It's like it should always burn like a pilot light that never extinguishes, because to then light it when it's completely gone, yeah, that takes a lot of energy. That's far more difficult. It's supposed to burn always. And let's see, then we're going to look at your next card is the High Priestess, and that's for what puts a damper on your love life. And we have the High Priestess, and it's you're not sure how and what to go about it all. And there's also a choice in this card, because we have two paths, this here, a dark path and a light path. Both of these paths have a dark and a light or negative positive aspects to it, right? It's not just that the dark path is bad or anything, it's not. But you do have to make a choice. And I think that's where you get stuck. Like you're hoping for clarity, and you can get clarity. You have, because with the High Priestess, you have the answers within. And if you doubt what you feel, or you can't feel anything, maybe on the inside, whatever, you can still look for signs around you, right? Because they will be there, and it's okay to ask for guidance from, and that can be from spirit, but also people. But be wise with whom you listen to, right? Who you ask advice. Don't ask just about anyone. And when it comes to love, we tend to ask our girlfriends. And usually they can't give us the good advice because their answer will be colored by their own experiences. And if they don't even have a partner themselves, which is possible, maybe not, but it is possible, then yeah, it will be tainted, right? Then oftentimes they're not the right people to ask love advice from. And yeah. So be careful whom you ask. And but I think that what puts a damper on your love life is mostly this thing that you should choose what to do, follow that path or that path, and you don't know, and you just get stuck. And this is also, I'm gonna tell you that, I suppose that's important for a number of you. This is also over asking an oracle. So not doing anything, because this is a very inward focused energy, right? The high priestess. So not really doing anything much, but asking the like tarot cards or oracle cards, that kind of stuff. And we tend to do that when we are insecure and when we don't want to take action and when we are a bit afraid maybe and of getting hurt and getting rejected, etc., etc. But you can seriously over ask an oracle. I've done that. I'll give you an example so you know it really is possible. I've done that myself a number of years ago about one particular man at the time that I fancied, and I did that before in bed before I went to sleep. So I sat there with my cards and I did that night after night after night. And of course I didn't get any clarity because you're over asking. You're not even reading the cards properly because you just want to get the answer you want, right? And you're not going to be happy with any other answer, so that you keep asking and asking and asking. After a few nights, I was doing that again in bed, and all of a sudden the lights on the ceiling started to make a lot of noise and flicker, and it sounded as if there was a huge moth inside that lamp. And I thought, okay, maybe the bulb is going to die on me soonish or something, you know. But I did stop with the cards, and then the light stopped flickering, and I went to bed. But next night, same thing. Night after that, the same thing. And I knew it was spirit telling me, or my guides, whatever, telling me to stop over asking these freaking cards. And it was really freaky, the sound, the noise that the lamp made. Seriously, like there was a huge moth in there. And I stopped asking and completely, and I let go of that dude, and that was a good thing as well. It wasn't really the right one. And the light never flickered again, and that bulb, that same light bulb, is still in there. So there was nothing wrong with that light bulb at all. So you can over ask, and then you will not get answers. You're not even looking at the answers because you only want the answer that suits you, right? And then spirit tries to tell you, stop it, stop it, stop it, like the light in my case. But yeah, if you then don't heed that, I don't know, I suppose then the light bulb will break at some point. But that was just an example so you know that you can seriously over ask. Don't do that either. Next card. Right, this is for the question, what action steps should you take? And we have the Fool card here, the White Heart, and the Seven of Pentacles with the doors. Now, what you should do is follow your heart and enter the unknown, the new. Like this deer, stag, whatever, is going to enter that forest, but there's still mist. He can't see where he's going to go, if there's even a path, a proper path, etc., etc. But he knows he has to go there because he can feel that, and it's new, it's an adventure, and he's going to do that. But you will need courage to take that step. and the inner drive as well, right? Otherwise, you're not going to take that step. It's like really for you going to feel like stepping over a threshold, right? And then you need an inner drive, an inspiration, a courage to do that. And you have to go and embrace that new adventure and journey that awaits you. And it's probably going to feel quite big to you. It doesn't mean to say it's really, really a big thing, but to you, it is, right? At the same time, as you do that, this card says to not rush it. Don't rush into things, and there's no need for that. Like Elvis Presley, he sang this song like "Only Fools Rush In," right? And we have the fool, but there's no need for you to rush in, because the fool is no fool. The fool card in the tarot, he's no fool at all. He has had a lot of lessons and experiences in life. He's just at this point in life to make a new start, a new beginning with something, right? A new learning circle, curve. And yeah, so no rushing, and but going nonetheless, right? Taking that first step and keep going, trusting. And it's really going to be something that for you is getting out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And you have to just keep going and try to enjoy that. Learn to enjoy that, and do not seek safety or perceived safety at the first possible bend in the road, right? Like, okay, this seems like a safe place here in the woods. I'm going to go there and I'm going to stay there. And that's an example that can mean a man, a relationship, right? Don't do that. You really have to, it has to be right. It has to feel right. You have to know it's right. So don't just fall for something that is just safe. I hope that's clear. Yeah. Right. Next card, how to attract a lover. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Be confident. You have to be confident, not codependent, but able to stand on your own 2 feet and to take care of yourself, to carry yourself well. And at the same time, also exuding warmth, right? Because you can see that. She's so happy. She's willing to share whatever she holds in that pot or basket, whatever. And so she's willing to do that, and without the sharing, the giving, being at your expense, because that's not healthy. That's not the kind of giving you need to do, right? It's never at your expense, because then you're emptying your own cup, and that's going to wear you out. That's not really good. And she also, this is the Queen, right? The Queen of Pentacles. So she also knows her worth, and she's not going to sell herself short. So that goes back to this Fool card. This woman is not going to just go for some kind of guy or relationship because it's safe. She's not going to settle for something like that. No, she's going to keep going and going and going until she finds the thing that she, that's good for her and that fulfills her and her needs and makes her happy. The right thing. That's what she's going for. She's not going to run for safety. Not after she's just stepped over that threshold, had the guts to do that. Right? And yeah, so I like that. It comes back together. Really, really nice. Yeah, not selling yourself short. I love this energy. I always love that energy. Maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, because this earth energy, right? Anyhow, the next 2 cards is for some reason I feel I have to remove this one because of the energy. I don't know why. Never had that before. Anyhow, we're listening to the cards. The next question is how can you sustain a relationship so it's lasting, it stays healthy, etc. We have the Sun card and the King of Wands. Wow. So it's having a sunny disposition, and with this, I also feel able to receive because he's receiving the sunlight and the warmth from the sun. And at the same time, he's giving back by playing the music, right? And so there is a give and take. Being daring to be yourself is in here as well with the sun card, being playful, happy, just this really warm, sunny disposition. And I mean, who doesn't like the sun, you know? And with the King of Wands, it's keeping your own inner fire going, your passions and your dreams in life, and having a sense of direction, because this is masculine energy, right? Having a sense of direction, what you want in life, what you want out of a relationship, what you want, just, a need in order to feel fulfilled, and sticking to that. King of Wands is not going to give up on his dreams and goals and stuff in life because he's in a relationship, right? He's not going to do that. He doesn't mean it's selfish, not at all. But in a relationship, you still have to keep doing your own things. If you can't follow your dreams and goals because you're in a relationship, if you have to let go of that, then it's not the right relationship for you, because then it doesn't carry you, it doesn't nurture you. And this man, he is not going to do that, right? So he's following that. You should do that. You should keep following your dreams and living your passions. And so if that means that you are going to spend some nice evenings out with your own friends and not with him there as well, do that. Keep doing that. Keep going out with your friends. Keep spending time with your friends. Don't let your friends down because you have a relationship. Maybe you want to go on holiday for a week or a weekend on your own, right? Because of whatever. Do that. The right relationship for you, the right partner for you will understand. And these are just examples, right? Yeah. So there's this other beautiful thing. The little pilot light that we saw with the ace, with that green dragon here. The little pilot light has become a steady fire here. It's not going out anymore either. It's not turning back into a pilot light. It's just burning steady. It's strong. And yeah. And I also, for some reason, feel that if you have some health issues, chronic ailments or something, that these likely will lessen when you are in a healthy relationship. And that may sound weird, but that happens an awful lot, because then if you're in the right relationship, you're going to be totally happy, and that does that helps your health as well. Things change in your body too when you're happy and positive. So if you do have ailments, they might improve or go away. That's all from for these questions. I'm going to your next card. Right, there's two more cards from another deck. I'll put them in a minute. First we do the tarot card, which is the 5 of Swords, for the question, what relationship will you attract when you do all that work that we went over? And inner growth, etc. So the 5 of Swords, even in difficult circumstances, that will not drive you apart as a couple, as lovers, as partners. Because that's here, you see this forest, it's just bleak and grey and there's no leaves on trees, but this tree here, which is your relationship, you and your partner, is doing really well. It's a rowan tree, it's blooming, there's berries, and even around it, it's green. And so even when circumstances are dire, you are going to flourish. That's the kind of relationship you're attracting. So a relationship that can stand a lot and nothing can come in between you, really. You're a very power couple in that sense. And then we have these last two cards for you that come with the same question, right? What kind of relationship can you attract when you have done all that work, etc., etc. We have confusion and we have power. All seekers of truth experience confusion. Ask the divine to provide the answers to you. And power, the power of love is like a magnet drawing souls together. Oh, I'm sorry. That was just out of view. This power will also help here with if there are difficult circumstances. No, it doesn't really help, does it? The light, the glare. Oh, whatever. To remain as a team, because that power of love will keep you together like magnets, right? It won't drive you apart. It will just, might even actually make you stronger. And so you will remain a team and tackle whatever there is together. And things won't easily come in between the two of you because that magnetic power of love on a higher level, on a soul level, is so strong. You know, that's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. A power couple. And confusion says that as well, this card, although it doesn't seem so at first sight maybe. But it also says that provided that you both are open and receptive, that there is space to let go of outdated beliefs and habits and thoughts, etc. And that indicates growth, right? Because you usually don't let go of old stuff unless you want to grow, unless you are about to grow. And then it happens. And it is just also just normal to have confusion, a bit chaos when something new is about to come in, or when you actively seek something new. After chaos, we also always have clarity. That's even globally in the world, right? So the confusion is nothing to be afraid of. If there is a bit of confusion or maybe chaos or whatever, it's because you are releasing old shit, and then so something new can come in. And maybe this relationship is going to be unlike anything you've ever had before. It feels very powerful to me. Very interdependent relationship, a power couple, where you can still be yourself, do your own thing, etc. Yeah. So this is all I have for you. I hope it resonates and that you are happy with it. And thank you. Wishing you wonderful Valentines, and I'll see you next time. Right, the numbers 3. Welcome to your love reading. Ignite, how to ignite your love life. Your first card is for how to feel and become more desirable. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And aces is always about new beginnings, but this is, especially this one, the Ace of Pentacles, also about luck and healing, prosperity and self-worth, etc. And I feel that for you it's important to see, acknowledge and validate your talents, your worth, what you bring to other people, just by being you. Sorry, because I feel that you, in general, kind of underestimate yourself, finding yourself maybe even not good enough, or not pretty enough, not whatever enough, but you have an awful lot to offer, and just look at what you bring to others. Just look at that, and again, it's just by being you and doing what you just normally do without any effort. And you may get complimented for that, but do you then let it in? And if you get complimented, for God's sake, let it in. Appreciate people's validation for you, right? And because it's correct. And yeah, and being able to receive that can help you come into more appreciation and love of self. And then you can really see your value, that you are a beautiful gem. And if you can see that, if you can embrace that and accept that, something within you might soften, and it will just make you shine and become so desirable, right? And even if you're not pretty or not tall or slim or whatever, it doesn't matter. You do not have to be any of these things in order to be desirable, in order to be attractive. Not at all. What you exude, your energy, that's what matters, and you believing in you, right? So that's what you have to come to in order to become more desirable. Right, your second card is the what puts a damper on your love life. We have the Seven of Cups. And I feel you're relying too much on external sources. That can be people, situations, but also oracles. And it is good, often helpful, to use external guidance from time to time, right? Not always. Because the danger is when you do that too much, that you confuse yourself. Because one person says this, the other says that, then the other says that, and then you still don't know what to do. And it's their idea of what's good for you, not your own. So then you're still stuck with all these options and all these things, and yeah, it's not really helping you. And yeah, at some point you will have to learn to trust your own instinct to guide you, and just trust that it will bring you where you're supposed to be, and you don't have to take a huge first step or decision, right? But you can make a small decision, take a baby step, and see how that goes. And the more you start relying on your own inner guidance, your intuition, the more it develops and the stronger it becomes and the clearer it will become to guide you as well. And yeah, well, let's go to the next. That's the another Cups card, the Keeper of Cups, which is the King of Cups. For let's see. Gosh, now I hope. Yeah, I did say that the other one was what puts a damper on your love life, right? I hope I said that now. Oh my God. This one is for what action steps you should take in order to get somewhere in your love life, to improve it, etc. The King of Cups. It says that you should steer clear from emotional turmoil. And the King of Cups doesn't like drama and all that shit, the Simon, right? He will just remove himself, and he will go deep into the waters and like, sort that, I don't need that. And to that's good as well, because emotional turmoil is drama. It doesn't do anyone any good. And you can easily get sucked into that, and it doesn't help you at all. And if you, by withdrawing from that, or avoiding it at all, completely, then that helps you to look beyond the surface of things, and so you can see what is really going on in a situation. And in that sense, you should do that with a certain level of detachment as well. And I feel that translates in a way as having a neutral way of looking at it, a neutral glance, not influenced by emotions, because then you're back into that drama stuff again, right? That you can't see clearly. And having that more neutral detachment kind of look is especially important for you if you easily get influenced by people, situations, and so you easily get emotionally out of whack. Right? Then this is very important, this step, to prevent that from happening, to stay more stable. Yeah. Somehow I also felt with this, it's you shouldn't take things at face value, or base your decisions on other people's ideas. Just feel, and follow your own guidance, right? And if there's too much turmoil, then just wait for the waters to clear so you can see what's going on. Feel with your gut, right? That's with your intuition, because this is the cups suit, and that's all about emotions and feelings, etc. And if you keep doing that, what I just saw, all that stuff that I told you, is you're gonna at some point become, you will become more stable with your feelings and emotions, because this is the king. He is he has mastered all that has to do with feelings and emotions, right? Otherwise he wouldn't be king. So you will get there too. You will become more stable. But yeah, don't get sucked into any drama bullshit. And feel. Follow your guidance. Yeah, for some reason this is just very important, I suppose, for you. Otherwise another card would have come up. Right, next two cards for you. What was this? How to attract a lover. See if this helps. Yes, it does. It's the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Three of Cups card with the 3 dancing bears. So how can you attract a lover? Ace of Swords with the white raven says that you should have clear intentions. So know what you want, and that's what you go for as well, right? And you're gonna hit that, because this arrow is not gonna miss. But you must have clear intentions, because otherwise you're gonna hit something you don't really want, and then you're stuck with that and have to get rid of that. There's all too much drama and difficult stuff. So have clear intentions, and then aim and go for that. And also a very good way of communicating, because this is the swords suit, and that's air, and also communication. So have a good way of communicating, and in order to do that properly, you also need to know what your intentions are, and what you want, and what you need in order to be happy, right? And all that stuff. And so you're not stuck tongue-tied when someone asks you for can you then actually answer that? If someone was to ask you, for instance, what kind of relationship would you want? What kind of relationship would fulfill you? Or do you then know? Or are you more like, I never thought about that. Right? Know what you need in order to be fulfilled and happy. And there's so many people who don't ever really think about that, and and it doesn't have to become all rigid. That's not the idea either, of course. But if you don't even know what you want, well, that's quite difficult then. Anyhow, that's at least for you. This is very important to attract a lover, a relationship, to be able to communicate the right way, good, healthy, clear, etc. Have clear intentions, and seek stimulating environments and people with the Pentacles 3 that are fun and have fun, enjoy life, and also seek people, places where you feel comfortable, and where you can feel yourself, or with whom you can feel yourself, right? And be yourself, and who will support you and who you are. That's also very important. And then you can be you, and that will help you to we have this, to get this, to see your value, right? And if you don't see this, if you haven't got this step, this is also going to be quite difficult, because how can you find people that support who you are if you don't even support who you are? That was this first card, right? Anyhow, yeah. So let's see, where were we now? Question. Yeah, this. And then we go to the next one. I've told you everything I have for this position, actually. Yeah. So this is also important, of course. The having fun and the sharing and dancing and making merry, etc. So it's not just all cold and all that stuff. Anyhow, next is the how can you keep a relationship healthy, lasting, going? Right, this is for I already said that. I had a sip of coffee and I had to switch my coffee machine back on. And anyhow, how you can sustain a relationship. The Page of Swords. And again, this is about communicating. So I think that is for you very important, because it comes up again, and especially because it comes up in this position. So communicating in a healthy way, in a good way. And that means not overly emotional and drama, and not being the drama queen kind of thing. Because if you turn into a drama queen, you cannot communicate clearly, right? Because then you're sobbing and maybe screaming and angry and shouting, and you're all over the place, and it doesn't work. And again, that also goes back to this King of Cups, that avoid drama. Don't get lost in that. Doesn't do you any good. It gets you out of whack too. Right? So it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve the other person. Then they still don't know what the hell is going on. Communication is so important in a relationship. I think it's vastly underestimated by many people. And of course there's communication and there's communication, right? The blame game is not the right way. You have to express how you feel and tell what you need. And not tell what the other did wrong for you. No, that's not it. That's not your business. All you have to convey is how you feel, what you need, and what you do not like, and what you do not want. And basically that's it. And then you leave the space for your partner to reply to that, so he can then either give you what you need and want or not, or tell what he needs, and then you can come to a solution. Sort of like that, very short version of what it should look like. Sorry, this is also being able to focus, not judging yourself or other people whenever something is wrong, which again it goes back to communicating the wrong way, right? If you do that, and knowing, and that you can see that child doing here, that it's often better to spend a little bit of time on thinking things through, as opposed to getting all over the place, all emotional and drama, right? Because that is not going to help. We saw that here with the King of Cups, drama. So being able to do that as well, that if you are so emotional or so upset and angry or whatever over something, then just say, I need a little bit of time. Is that okay? Can we talk later or something like that, right? And then just calm down, think things through, and then you can talk. So the communication thing is really, really important. Sorry. Next card. So, what kind of relationship will you attract, and will you attract when you have done all that work and all that stuff that we just talked about? Then we have as an answer the Nine of Cups, which is the wishes fulfilled card, and the King of Swords. Again, swords. There's a lot of swords, so the communication is really important. Anyhow, a loyal, with the wishes fulfilled card, a loyal, steady relationship with someone who's equally strong and intelligent as you are. And that's this as well, right? The King of Swords. And that king, so that also that relationship can help you to get to your full potential, as he can be a very stabilizing factor in your life, because this king, he's not going to be ruled and overrun by emotions, right? He's not going to be into drama, and no, he's going to sort things out with his intellect. And that might be really helpful, stabilizing for you, and that then in turn can help you to reach your full potential. And the King of Swords is rather logical. He's not very emotional in that sense, like public display of affection and all that stuff. And of course, it always depends. Every person is different. But if that is not what you desire, or if that's what will not bring you happiness, then maybe wait a wee bit longer before you make your wish with the Nine of Cups card, right? Because if the wish that you make here with that coin in the well doesn't really come from the heart, if it isn't clear, if the intention isn't clear, and if it doesn't come from the heart, then you may get what you actually didn't want. And so think about it. You have to really carefully think about that before you make your wish, and ask the water spirit or spirit for what you want and to bring it to you. Right? You must be careful what you wish for. Yeah. And this is not just all bad, because it sounds so bad in a way, like from the head and all that stuff. But this is also, and I can totally relate to that, needing an intellectual connection with each other, with someone else, with a partner, in order to be able to have a relationship with that person. And I can so relate to that. And I know an awful lot of people want and need that as well. If I do not have an intellectual click with a guy, well, it's not going to work out. It's just, I need to be able to have deep conversations and interesting things, and and sure, I also want to have fun and dance and make merry and all that stuff, but I also need this food for thought. And that's what you will have in this relationship. So I think you will need that too. And so will he, and you will get that. And it's going to be a really good connection, because look at this. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. It really is a wish come true. And then we have cherish your relationship. So yeah, that's also wonderful. If there's one thing I personally find important in a relationship, is that my man cherishes me. And of course, you have to cherish the relationship as well. The relationship is important, right, in your life. And so I hope that resonates, because I myself got a wee bit stuck with that King of Swords, because in a way I never like him all that much, but it does make so much sense. Like I said, if I can't connect with a man on an intellectual level, it's not going to work out. It's just not going to work out. There can be such a great other connection and passion and desire and I don't know, emotional or whatever. But if the intellect is not clicking, no. I'm gone. That actually is really a deal breaker for me. So it's not bad. I hope I didn't really put you off here at first, right? And because I think you're like that as well. And wonderful relationship, good connection is what you then can attract. So yeah, hope it makes you happy. Love to read that in the comments section actually. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Valentine's, and I'll see you again soon.